You employed some $9 per hour person on another side of the globe. Before 6 p.m. on their side, they're like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm just going to drop this. I'm just going to git push and get the hell out of here. OpenAI messages sometimes is considered as a message. You can use ChatGPT in the plane on the message plan because it's just text.
Are you
right?
for real? That's actually insane.
Vibe coding hanging from a rope somewhere in Peru.
Welcome to Watch Out for AGI Podcast, your go-to podcast for the latest in AI. We dive into cutting-edge models, news, and products with insights from developers and creators worldwide. AI evolves fast, and we are here to keep you informed. So whether you're coding, building, or just curious about AI, stick with us to stay ahead of the game. This is Watch Out for AGI. Let's get into it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Watch Out for AGI podcast, the across the map podcast from San Francisco to New York to, wherever I am in Europe, I guess. But Europe is not cooking, so we're pretending to do AI.
What is the latest top AI startup in Spain?
In Spain, it's AI siesta. It detects when you need to stop working. And it
triggers every hour.
It even wakes you up in the night to say, take a siesta.
As you said, right now, I am in San Francisco, and Vincent was the guest of our podcast last week. And I'm doing a lot of events with Vincent because he's really trying hard to push his ideas and his startup. And it's amazing. The energy here is amazing. Like we were talking about it again last week, and it's enough to play San Francisco every week, but yeah, if you're interested to build, really, it's the place to be because there's just like an amazing energy. People are like super friendly toward you, even if you're just starting. That's really cool.
I'll be back very soon. I actually want to get a live pod done with you while we're there. I usually go to the WeWork over there. That is in the Salesforce Tower. Very beautiful, nice views over the city. And you can see everywhere in the city from there. And I was pointing to Vincent that the OpenAI offices are like, I think that they're at about a kilometer away. They're next to the water. It would be nice to go visit them, to visit the offices. I don't know if it's open, but there's a lot of startups that are there in the city. But in reality, how many AI developers are there in the city? These are big companies, but are there many employees?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, no, absolutely. When you visit New York, you probably have seen all the tech employees at Google walking to Chelsea. It's the same here. In the morning, you see like a lot of zombies tech employees going to work. And I just wanted to say specifically this week was crazy, I think, in San Francisco because YC did the AI school, I think the AI school startup event. And there was keynotes from Elon Musk, Sam Altman, the guy from Perplexity, actually, Arvin. I don't remember his name. So right now, it's really, really exciting place to be. And also, there was a batch by YC recently. And so I learned it from a founder there. But even if you fail to apply to the batch and get in, they will still fly you. They will still fly you just for 1 week to have a feeling of the bay. So you can get a free flight by just applying to YC. So you should still apply, even if your startup is garbage.
Either AI is going up or flight costs are going down. I don't know which one it is. I can tell you one thing. I was trying to go to Ibiza this weekend, and flights are going up. It's like a 40-minute ride, and it's 400 euros. So maybe there's a bubble here in Europe. We're gonna get squeezed.
I think it's just all the Americans during the summer. They want to live their European escape. That's why.
How have you been feeling the last couple of weeks? We haven't gone over AI news in a while. It's been a bit quiet, but it's been packed still. What is your feeling? Have people slowed down a tiny bit, or are we in release season?
Yeah, right now, we are not in release season because I think all the different LLMs and LLM providers are more releasing stable version. We're going to talk about OpenAI lowering their price. I think the infrastructure are getting more mature, but you don't have like a big product that is like moving the needle right now during this last 2 weeks. But it's really still interesting to see where it's going because all the things that are done during these 2 weeks are preparing for the next releases. But Yeah. So I think we can get into the AI news, by the way. I think I'm super interested to talk especially about OpenAI, but do you want to add something before we start?
We usually go over, before the AI news, we go over the sentiment. We are currently building things as we go, and we change our products, we change our prompts, we change the way we work. I can tell you one thing is that I have changed the way I prompt in Cursor since we had our chat with Vincent. I'm using a lot more of the kill the baby method.
Are
And
you getting more aggressive?
Kill more and more things around me as he fucks up on multiple levels. I went through some code and I saw some crazy shit, and it's from the Sonnet 4 era.
Yeah.
I've seen some static code, some magic numbers just thrown there. At one point, there was, if there is no data returned from the database, just serve dummy data in production. Just serve a user who's looking for his reservations. There's no reservations, but when you don't have a reservation, it shows 2 dummy reservations. That is unacceptable.
Okay, so
Unacceptable.
you have the same experience as me. I was telling you even the week before how Claude is gaslighting. My hypothesis is that Anthropic is trying to make their model more sycophant, so more positive toward the user. And because most of their users are people creating an MVP, so in the context of an MVP, having dummy data is great. Because you basically don't need like real data. You just want to show a landing page to a user. So in that specific context, it's great to have dummy data. I've met actually a guy that is building a product called Day 50. And I loved his pitch because his pitch is that you can build with Cursor for like 5 days, 10 days. But after 50 days, you almost do not use Cursor anymore, exactly for these problems, you know. It's because they are really bad at just maintaining a complex system. Was it your experience? Are you using a lot Cursor even with your more mature product?
Yes, of course. I only use Cursor. I don't want to use anything else. I don't want to code without Cursor. Cursor is not the problem. The model here is the problem. I don't understand how you can get to this. I don't know how you can read a code base and then suppose that it's not mature and that you can just drop this kind of shit. When you read a code base, you know that, look, Emrick, let's say that you come aboard and you take a look at my product and you put your nose into my code. You can tell straight away if the code is mature. You can tell straight away with the number of files, the number of services going on, how mature the code is, and you actually get scared to modify things. So as an engineer, you look at code and you get scared to, if I touch this, I don't want to break things. That's a human thing. I don't know how it's possible to get to this point where you would just, oh yeah, dummy data, yeah. It's like you employed some $9 per hour person on another side of the globe. Before 6 p.m. on their side, they're like, oh, you know what? Like, I'm just going to drop this. I'm just going to git push and get the hell out of here. It's like that. It's like, I don't give a damn. Let's see if someone discovers this shit.
Are you still asking Claude to write unit tests too?
I do. And it's part of the core prompt, the master rule. And it writes tests, and the tests are absolute terrible. So
yeah,
you have to read the tests. You cannot pay or either that, or you know what I've been doing, and this is the thing that Anthropic is losing out on. I'm just switching the model. I switch the model and I say, all right, some idiot wrote this code. Just make sure that it's not going to blow the world up, you know?
Which model are you switching on more and more?
Gemini 2.5 Pro.
And do you feel the difference? Do you think it's actually... Because I should probably try. I'm always using Claude.
Gemini has one-shotted things that Sonnet was stuck on. You know, when you have 2 brains, let's say that you have 2 smart engineers, one comes from Russia, one comes from the US, and let's say they're both excellent, and one is able to do things better than the other. It doesn't mean that it's better than the other. It's just that we have 2 equal engineers that have 2 different perspectives, and that you have to try them. Some of them are better than others on some types of tasks.
That's actually a really good image because you're right. I think the LLMs are just good at different things. I've read a lot that Claude is really good at TypeScript and like all the things that are trendy, like TypeScript, React, and everything, and that the other LLMs are better at other languages. I think you're right. I think it's good to change. I will try myself because I also stumbled into the same problem with Claude than you.
One thing I did see with Claude in TypeScript was the way it codes is just very bizarre for me. I was looking and I was not paying attention, and I looked back and I saw the order at which it was doing things. And one of the steps in the conversation was, "Oh, and I must not forget to put to put a closure to my class," and then it inserts a colon. It's like, what? It inserts a, what do you call it in English? Basically, it had forgotten to put a parentheses and a closure.
Yeah, okay.
So instead of writing the code, it writes the thing and says, "I must not forget to put a closure." Why the fuck didn't you put a closure when you? Why do you need 2 prompts for that? But if you think about it, you can maybe see some human in this. It's like, when you're learning how to code as a noob, as a beginner, you forget to put closures. You forget to end a function. You forget things like this. And maybe in the training, it's don't ever forget to fix your code when it is done.
I just shared on the picture like the leaderboard from LM Arena. Do you even use leaderboard to know which LLM to use, or are you just using word of mouth from friends, your vibe?
It's complete vibe. I can tell you one thing is that once something fucks up big time, you don't ever want to use it again. For me, 03 is in that era. Like 03 is, I would never use 03 until it retires. It's terrible. It's a shit model. 4.1 is it just feels off.
It does. It's not good.
I don't like it at all. One thing that we are going to cover in the future is the price of models. And let me tell you, the one thing that prevents me from using any of the GPTs, and I think this is subsidized from Anthropic's side, the cost of a request for Sonnet 4 on Cursor is 0.5 requests. The price for GPT 4.1 is 1 request. So you're basically getting a 3x shit model for 2x the price. And why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why would I even spend more money for a worse result?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
it's completely subsidized, I think.
I mean, it's not like I'm a genius here. It's very obvious what's going on here, guys. So Anthropic is currently putting money into Cursor's pocket to subsidize these models, and they want as many people as possible using the Sonnet model so that they can use this as training data or something like this. They want to have user feedback, and they're winning because everybody's using this model. That's my analysis of this situation.
I am on the website artificialanalysis.ai, and it's funny because the cheapest but it's just price. Okay, it's not price to intelligence. Sorry. I was just looking at what exists, and I also see that Grok 3 Mini is actually not that bad in terms of like speed to intelligence to price. Like there's like a lot of different choice.
So now in terms of sentiment outside of coding, tell me, Emrick, did I already shit on Anthropic? Has this been done already in the last 2 episodes so that I know how far I go here?
No, I think we haven't. You were more positive, I'd say.
All right, let's go, guys. Let me tell you guys my little story here. For Anthropic, I was a very, very big fan. I still believe that that company is undervalued. And if you have shares of that company, you might retire early, this kind of talk, right? Why do I say this? They have a very solid model. They have a very good coding model, and they have very smart people working there, and they pay their engineers a shit ton. And they have less employees than other companies. It's just a perfect storm. One thing that I actually learned after I applied, I learned this on the All In podcast. A lot of the employees of Anthropic are Biden era government officials. They left the government and they are now in the private sector. This happens a lot. And a lot of the legal team, a lot of the government team is straight from the government. So, in terms of investment, if you are going to choose a company to put your money on, Anthropic has the connections needed to the skyrocket, basically. And so, I learned that over the last 2 weeks. Fine, great, looks good. I'm bullish. And then I decided to purchase the Anthropic Pro. And that's where things kind of started to stink a bit. I purchased the annual subscription. I forget how much it is. It's something like $200 a year. It's coming from OpenAI, which I was ready to, at this point, have a change. It doesn't get the job done. It does not get basic things done. Writing emails is a challenge for Claude. Memory is a challenge for Claude. I don't know what's happening. Am I using it wrong?
Are we talking really about the Claude chatbot? Like when you go on Claude AI and you go on the chatbot?
I'm talking about the Claude chat, the Claude app, and the Claude iPhone app.
Okay, they have all the mediums. So do you also have like a Mac app for it?
I do.
Okay.
And I've been pasting in relevant content and asking it to respond with an executive tone. And executive tone for it means bullet points. Like, nobody in the world responds with bullet points. It's not a thing. It's become a thing because of AI, but it's not a thing. And I said, this is not usable. There's not one shot that is usable. You have to say, no, not bullet points. No. You need to explain. This makes no sense. And so for basic things, it really, really pisses me off. And I just threw $200 in the garbage here. I don't know what to do. It's really bad.
Can you add system prompt? I see that when I'm going, you can add personal preferences. Should Claude consider in your responses? So you can still use system prompt as an example to reduce the amount of bullet point, no?
So you can do a few things in the Claude app, but it's not as advanced as OpenAI, which is going to bite them in the ass at some point because at some point, if you have a great model and you don't have a great UX, people are just not going to use it. Or you hire a team to build UX around Claude. But at that point, then your company loses its point, its value. You don't have dominance, right? So
I see.
What you can do here is configure the styles. So you have these basic styles, which I haven't really used because for me, these one-word styles, how the heck are you supposed to use this? Like normal, what does this mean? Normal?
I agree. It's
concise.
It's absolutely not good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Explanatory, I guess, right? What about the one that I created? Executive. So executive is one of the styles I created. So if you go here, you cannot edit it. Like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? And so I wrote this long prompt in here because I wanted something really long, And what it does is it takes Claude and it compresses what you wrote here into this shit right here.
Yeah.
Deliver authoritative, strategic insights with razor-sharp concision. This is absolute shit. I would never ask you to do this. This is useless. Absolute. I'm sorry. I'm just so pissed. It's so bad. This is useless.
Don't you think their bad experience in the chat is due to majority of their revenue coming from the API? So maybe they don't care that much about people on the chat because people are using mostly the API nowadays?
Yeah, but you can also be the alternative to OpenAI. You can also be that, but you decide to not give a damn, I guess. I don't know. Like, you have these other products that you're always shining about. I guess the Claude code. That's probably a big moneymaker for companies that don't give a damn about how much they're spending on code, because that thing is expensive. You can upload files, which is, basic stuff at this point. You have projects, which you had a long time ago in OpenAI's interface. There's no memory. I don't think there's a memory of who you are, which is really too bad, Well, did I tell you about that one time I was in an airplane? I was trying to... did I tell you about this? I was trying to check if the internet was working on my laptop. I connected to the Wi-Fi and I opened up ChatGPT. Because airplane Wi-Fi, you can use chats. It's free if you send messages, right?
That's the first time I'm hearing it. That's a really big win for OpenAI. If that's the...
Well, they could take advantage of this. Here, use this, guys. Make a text version. I know you have WhatsApp, but make one that is compliant to text in airplane, and you will have people paying for that, because that's a game changer in the airplane. That's a game changer. If you don't have to pay for the Wi-Fi, it's a game changer. Anyway, so
Which company has for free for text specifically?
A lot of them.
Is it like American?
Air France, Iberia. I've flown another one or two that have free for text. Maybe Qatar as well.
Because in the US, I'm seeing more and more Wi-Fi for free. Actually, I fly JetBlue a little bit, and JetBlue you have free Wi-Fi that is working actually correctly. So I think free Wi-Fi will start to be more popular.
Yeah, actually, guys, I was in a Qatar Airways flight, and they have the Starlink, and I had my first WhatsApp call inside the plane, where I was able to call someone and just chat while being up 40,000 feet in the air. It's amazing.
That sounds amazing, yeah.
No, but going back to my story, I sent a message to ChatGPT just to see if Wi-Fi was working in the plane. And I said, hey. It responded, hello. I said, I'm in a plane. He said, are you going to Paris or are you going to Barcelona? I was like, oh my God, that was really scary, because I was going to Paris. I was like, how in the fuck? But I remember it knows about me. It has memory on me. It knows where I usually are going, where I have presence, etc. So this is a big, big one, and Claude does not have this. In a pro plan and the max plan, it doesn't have all this stuff. I don't know. And I'm paying $200 a year, and there's a plan that's above that, which I just don't understand what, like, I don't know. I don't see Claude. I thought they were at 70% on commercial side, on the B2C. It turns out they're like 20%, 30%. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah. Absolutely. They're absolutely 10% on B2C. They don't care that much. They want developers to use their API. That's it.
That is very disappointing. Very disappointing to me.
Yeah, you're maybe just not the target here. Like, you're maybe just not the target they are trying to sell on the upsell. Maybe that's it.
We'll see. But, sticking back to ChatGPT, I just have to. It's just much better. Even with a shit model, a GPT-4o is actually solid, and it's costing them nothing.
Yeah, I think after all these years, they really perfected their prompting system. I don't know how they do it, but the model is really good. Yeah, the model is really good. The model knows how to use tool. It's maybe an old one, but it's actually really good at most of the tasks. I do see myself also using ChatGPT a lot, just for like mundane questions. Like, I'm using it a lot, and it answers really greatly. And I'm cheap. I'm not paying for any pro subscription.
You're not paying for any pro subscription? You're not paying for ChatGPT? You're paying for ChatGPT, no?
Nope.
But what model is there for the free users.
It's probably for all by default.
Wow, that means I could probably not pay. But the thing is that I use a lot of the pro features. I actually use them, like the vocal stuff. I use the memory stuff. I use my GPTs. I use them. I use all this stuff. It's usable stuff here. It's not gadget.
Yeah, I agree. You showed me multiple times for your own GPTs and everything, and I agree. The Chat GPT is the B2C app, is the main B2C app. They are less focused on B2B compared to Claude. It's like Anthropic is really trying to address the B2B, and Chat is addressing the B2C because they had their viral moment, and everyone knows about ChatGPT nowadays.
With that said, I think it's time to come into our AI news segment, and there's a few things to mention this week. First news is MidJourney Video. MidJourney has a new release with, it's an alpha release, version 6.2, and it includes an enhanced video generation capability, producing high quality stylized clips from text prompts with improved motion coherence and audio integration. It's not audio focused. It supports rappers for adding soundtracks or dialogue. Why does this matter? MidJourney's video tool is gaining traction among creators, competing with Veo 3 from Google. And so we know that a lot of the creators are already using MidJourney to generate their photos, and it's one of the best out there. I would say it is the best in terms of style. I've been really able to use it myself and have a very aesthetic style. Now, if a lot of the creators are already using MidJourney, it's not going to be hard for them to jump. And that would be a real competition to Veo 3. Veo 3 is way ahead of everybody in terms of quality, but that is only a question of time before it gets distilled across all the other models. And what we're going to see is a war on who has the users, like always. What do you think, Emrick? Do you think that MidJourney has a shot against Veo 3 as they get better and better with the video models?
I am sharing a little bit of images, and the images are amazing. Like, it seems like you can do already whatever you want. It's like, with MidJourney, you can create images that are amazing if you know how to prompt it. And it seems like they managed to do the exact same with video. The thing is, with these products, you always have the virality. And I don't know if you remember the Ghibli moment with ChatGPT that gave them actually a lot of revenue. A lot of people came onto their app and paid for the Pro to have access to the image model. I think it's the same for Google. I think Google, when they arrived with their video model plus the sound, because here the thing is, even if MidJourney is really good, there is no sound yet to it. And I think this is the killer feature. This is making right now Veo 3 really viral, and you're seeing like a lot of the video everywhere. So yes, I think MidJourney can literally create better video output right now, but until they have sound, they will be less viral. That's just the problem. Like, because the output is not you cannot choose the output immediately right now. You need to add sound or something.
Yeah, just to let everybody else know about the competitors, there's Veo 3 with the sound. We said that when it came out in our pod, that was a big moment for creators. You didn't need to go spend hours generating your audio. It was all inside the video, baked in. Now, there are other competitors as well that are killing it in terms of quality. It's Kling with 2.1 master, and Higgsfield. These video generation tools were also used in the Mine tunnels, showcasing advanced text-to-video capability. You guys should go check that out. It's a growing competitor to Veo 3 at the same time. But here, MidJourney could steal a large portion of the market who are already paying for MidJourney and that have their styles already baked in. It's what I like about MidJourney and what I like about the model. I'm talking about the business model here. Is that it is one of those apps that you have to invest time into. And the more you invest time, the less you want to leave. And if you have your styles that are baked in and they are compatible to MidJourney, only MidJourney, you're not going to leave, and you want your videos to look that way. So that is an interesting one to keep an eye on. I don't know what the pricing is. Emrick, do you have any news on what pricing could be for this?
So I think for now, the problem is I'm not sure the model is immediately available publicly for everyone. I think it's mostly for like early adopters. It's a little bit the same situation as Sora. Sora was in early adopter phase for long. So I don't think the prices are available as we are talking right now.
Yeah, it's, I think, a problem of availability, and this takes a large infrastructure bump, and you don't want to have a bad experience for the first people who integrate the service. So maybe it's only closed and open to creators and the best creators that they can find on there, the ones that have contributed the most. Maybe they go into their database and they see the users that have used MidJourney the most, and they take those people for a ride. So if you haven't been chosen to test it, well, we just have to wait, I guess, and try it when it comes. Some other news. OpenAI again drops prices. It's not the first time we've seen this. They have dropped the price of O3, and they have a new O3 Flex model. Flex is not really a model. It's a way to access the O3 model, which may fail, which is for batching, which is cheaper. But OpenAI slashed the prices of O3 Pro by 80%, making it cost-effective for developers, and introduced O3 Flex, a customizable model with flexible pricing for audio-video applications.
I think it's actually huge, to be honest. This news is one of the most huge, I think, in the last 2 weeks, in my opinion, because Gemini was taking market share to OpenAI on the dev end. Also, Gemini was taking market share for Anthropic. And I think OpenAI, by slashing their price, I don't know how they did it, but they did some optimization, some black magic optimization of their infrastructure. They were able to slash the prices, and that put them right now, OpenAI is a deal. OpenAI is more of a deal than Google and than Anthropic, of course. Anthropic is really for now, they leave their price really high on purpose. Google slashed the price, and basically OpenAI had to adapt to align. So that actually makes right now their model a really enticing like solution for the creators right now, for like the builders of LLM apps.
Yeah, they're the golden boy. They're in the golden boy scenario. The Anthropic team, they can still, as long as you can still charge what you're charging, great. But, at the same time, we're saying this, it doesn't make any sense. We just said earlier that Anthropic has subsidized requests through Cursor. So they are also doing deals. I guess it's just the way you prompt their model through which door you open to get access to the model. But this right here is a deal. I actually saw a video on YouTube of a guy saying how he codes with O3, a strong model, with a reduced price. It's the cheapest thing you can do. If you run O3 on the Flex model, you are looking at, he was saying, I don't have the information in front of me, so he was saying it's $2 for 1 million input tokens, and it's $4 for 1 million output tokens. And this comes with thinking capabilities, which is super cheap, super cheap.
Yeah, I want to share a little bit that graph. It's intelligence versus price. And you see all three right now being completely on par with Gemini 2.5 Pro. So Gemini 2.5 Pro is, I cannot click on it, but they are all in the same area. So they are on the top of the intelligence index, and they are also on the cheaper end, both. So they are even slightly more cheap, so that make them really more competitive. Yeah, see, O3 and Gemini 2.5 Pro are they literally did the exact same ratio.
Yeah, this is a great model. This is a great graph to look at when you're choosing a model to work on, except that this doesn't take any vibing or model into account. What I'm interested as well in knowing is, as we move forward, will we have more specific benchmarking? I mean, if you are running Python and someone else is running Next.js, this cannot be the same. It cannot look the same. This looks great. In practice, though, are you going to get the same capabilities for each of the tasks? Like I said earlier, I wanted to write an email with Claude 4. Terrible. Super, super disappointing. You can look at this graph and say, Claude 4 is a killer, but is it a killer?
I know you would not, because right now Claude 4, if Sonnet 4 is less intelligent than the rest and more expensive. Like if you compare, here they are better placed overall. The best actually being DeepSeek. I think DeepSeek is literally the best deal of everything. But Claude is not good, and I think basically to your question, you just use the LLMs for the purpose you want them to use, and Claude 4 is still pretty good at coding, pretty much. So that's the only reason you would use it, I think.
Yeah, man, I don't know. Like, are we when we test these benchmarks, Claude 4, is it better than 3.7? Is it better than 3.5? Maybe we should do a blind test where it's written Claude 4, but you swap out the model. And then you say, which one was actually better, guys? Which one was actually better? You have no idea which one it is. And you'd be surprised. It'd be interesting to have a code base that has the same code, and you run the prompt 3 times with the 3 recent Claude models. You'd get a better feel. I think that would be a really good test, to be honest.
But isn't it the exact thing that LM Arena is doing? No, but LM Arena, how does it work? Is like, let's try to ask something. I mean, it needs to start, yes. And see, it actually does show you 2 different assistants that don't have a name, and you will have to say and answer which one was the best.
Oh, so
I don't know why it's so slow right now.
There's something about speed at the moment. What is happening? I don't understand. Claude is so slow right now. So slow. And so are a lot of the models that I've tried. Is there like a infrastructure problem? What is happening? Let me see what's happening here.
Aren't we talking a lot, and specifically on the All-In podcast, they're trying to talk a lot about electricity, so availability of intelligence, and maybe we just don't have enough. Yeah, there is too much demand and not enough supply. That would be the only answer I could give you, basically just too much demand and not enough supply. In the case of Anthropic, that's like 100% this problem. They just don't have enough capacity to answer everyone at the same time. And I think it's really an Anthropic problem. I think they have a problem with scaling their infrastructure on their side. Maybe not enough funding, I don't know. But it might be either electricity or their infrastructure.
I guess Elon Musk would be right there, and he might take everybody short with his massive, massive infrastructure plans. I think he might have gotten it right again. To stop Elon Musk, you have to do the Trump bullet method. This guy is unstoppable, man. I feel like now that he's out of the government, we're going to see a lot coming in the AI world. By the way, Emrick, nothing to do with anything here. I just got a Starlink Mini, and I'm super happy. I'm going to be able to test that and do vibe coding from wherever I want now. Vibe coding from paste your answer. I can vibe code anywhere. I'm going to go to Greenland and vibe code over there.
I'm actually looking at it right now. If I want to buy, I can buy it on Best Buy.
What's your price? Tell me, what's your price? How much?
I'm going to share. Starlink Mini here is $500.
I paid €250.
Why? Did you get a discount or something?
Because I know a guy who knows a guy. No, but if you go to the Corte Inglés, it's a Spanish site. It's at $250 right now. I can pick one up for you if you want. And then I'll just deliver it to California because shit is so damn expensive over there. No, but if you look at it, you can vibe code anywhere you want. If you get one of those, you get a plan. Boom. You're set. And I'm thinking about using it in the airplane. This is a game changer. Man, it went up. It went up. I bought it and it went up. It's like a stock market.
At Corte Inglés. Oh my God, you can find deals in Europe.
There are deals in Europe. We're killing it out here, man, and we're killing ourselves at the same time.
We are so back. You can save money when buying your Starlink Mini.
Thanks for the interlude. We still have some news that I want to go over. Alexander Wang. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
He's not Russian.
Nope. He's not Russian. And Meta's 49% stake in Scale AI. Meta has invested $14.3 billion with a massive capital B into Scale AI for a 49% voting stake, hiring its CEO Alexander Wang to lead a super intelligence lab focused on advanced UI, including potential audio-video tools. Wang, who remains on the scales. Board brings expertise in data labor. I think this guy's like 28 or something. I don't know. He's super young. Anthropic is going ham here, and they are spending all the cash they got to be relevant in this war, man. Like, what do you think? Is Meta trying to be relevant? Are they relevant? Is this a good move? What are your thoughts on this?
So for long, and me specifically, because I am a really big nerd on like local LLMs, Facebook and Meta was rocking. They were really destroying everything. The Llama 1, Llama 2, Llama 3, Llama 3.1, like they were the stars. And they were basically proving that open source LLM is relevant. And something happened at the Llama 4 specifically release. They basically faked benchmarks. Also, people were able to try the models. The models were just worse. The thing is, Llama 3.1 was a small model and it was really good while still being a small model. And the only thing they were able to do with Llama 4 was to just increase the size of the model, and it was not necessarily better. So that was specifically the moment where I think there was some exodus from Meta. A lot of researchers even refused to have their name on the papers. So some people that worked for Llama 4 refused to have their name on the paper. That's insane. And I think a lot of people left at that moment because I'm not working on Meta, so I'm just imagining, and I don't exactly know what happened there. But it seems like there was too much request from Zuck at that moment, and the team wasn't able to deliver, at least in time. So that created this thing where I think a lot of researchers decided to leave, maybe to go to Anthropic, to Cohere, to Google. And I think what Zuck is doing, he's just refusing to lose the AI race because it's too important. We are fucking talking about it like every week. It's really important, also in my opinion. So he just refuses to lose it just because of a team that didn't work out. So right now, there are rumors that Zuck is trying to hire for 9 figures top AI researchers. So we were talking in the last decade about this NBA players being paid like too much, or this soccer player being paid too much. Now we have AI researchers being paid too much. You can get a 9 figures job nowadays. So please do a PhD as soon as possible because it will pay a lot in the future.
I'm just wondering, what do you think about this, Emrick? If I change my title to AI researcher, do you think that I will get LinkedIn laid? You know what that means?
How much papers do you have? How much papers do you have that have been created?
I can tell you one thing. I have no papers, but I can change my title to AI researcher.
They're going
And
to
as
ask
for-
you immediately for your papers.
It's written in another language.
In Mongolian, it's a Mongolian paper. You cannot read it.
You can't read it. Only LLMs can read it. No, but seriously, like, let's say you want to ride the wave and fake this whole thing. Can you just say you're an AI researcher and just publish a rando paper from another person, and you just change a few things? You work for a month on this side project and you MIT stamp it. I'm publishing this shit and I'm putting it out there. Can you like cheat your way into the AI industry?
So the system of papers and the scholar system is based on something called H-index. And it's how much you are referred by other people, how much citations your paper has. And I don't know if you know, but it inspired a small company called Google. And basically, Google worked with a PageRank that was exactly the system for some time. It's not the case anymore, but Google is struggling with something called SEO. And it's the same. You can SEO your way into papers. That's literally what a lot of people are doing. You can put your paper out there. You can just go into any conventions trying to spam it in the face of people. You can use techniques of marketing. You can do SEO for your paper.
For those who are trying to get the 9-figure jobs, I think you might need to look into this SEO your paper way into the industry. There's a lot of money to be made out there. And I think that's crazy that 9 figures, I don't know how much you get taxed on that. I don't know if this is going to be like, what is that? Is that a bonus, or are you getting 9 figures and you're getting 9 figures annual? annual?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a vesting. Like you're basically 9 figures out of Meta stocks, I think.
So it's monopoly money.
Nah, not really, because you can sell Meta stocks. It's really liquid. So it's not that monopoly money, but it's if you don't sell it, you are not taxed. So it's monopoly money. But the moment you sell it, yeah, you will pay you 50% tax in US.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Now on to our last piece of news. It's, for me, a tiny bit disappointing. I can explain myself. It's dilution. We're going to talk about Manus here. Manus Video Wrapper. Manus launched an advanced text-to-video wrapper that generates animated videos with integrated audio, scene planning, and lip syncing, ideal for content creators. Why does this matter? It simplifies the professional video production, positioning Manus as a direct competitor to Google's Flow and HeyGen in the growing audio-video market. So I don't know how this is a direct competitor to Google, but it's using Google.
I don't understand exactly how that works. Is it using VO3 under the hood? And like
It is. It's a wrapper. It's a wrapper. They have no models. They're building a prompt around your prompt and sending it off to VO3.
But it's actually not that stupid, because Manus is like this generic agent that can do everything. Theoretically, if Manus is good enough, they could like do production for you. But do you need them to give you your API key or something?
No, I think it's integrated. It's part of their max plan. It's not even the plus plan, the basic plan. So the also something here is that Manus is very, very young, and they are absolutely not mature in terms of pricing. I have seen it all. I've seen them drop 2,000 credits on my account. I don't even know if that's a mistake or, if it's free money.
They did it everyone for their release. They wanted everyone to use it.
Oh, yeah. So, they dropped credits, then they have diluted credits. I think that things cost more in credits. I'm not sure about that one, but I've been, a few tasks of mine have taken up 900 credits, which didn't take before. And now they used to have 2 plans. Now they have 3 plans. They have a basic plan. They have a plus plan and a max plan. And I was taking a look at them because I was actually interested in getting one of the plans. I can tell you that I don't understand, even after reading it, what is the best plan for someone who wants to start getting into this general agent sphere. Let me just put up the prices real quick of the agent. The basic, the plus, the pro. You get 300 refresh credits daily for all of these models, which does not make any sense to me. I don't understand that. You get monthly credits. You get a lot more on the pro. You're getting 20,000 a month.
You can get a t-shirt if you pay the pro. the pro, you can get a t-shirt.
Can you get a hug?
Don't have it. I have it on my screen and you don't. I have an offer to get a t-shirt if I pay the pro model.
Can you ask for a date? Can you ask for a new MacBook? No, but it's a very strange way to present this. I just don't understand this 300 refresh daily, because if you're a heavy user, you're going to knock out that 19,000 credits on day one, I think. And then you're stuck like a absolute newbie with the same price as the basic. You're getting the same amount of refreshes as the basic. Very strange. It's 5 concurrent tasks. I can tell you one thing. If you have 5 concurrent tasks, you're going to burn that 19,000. And by the way, it says 19 plus extra credits of 19. Limited offer. Why don't you just... Anyway, it's just confusing. I'm not going to buy. I'm not buying. I will wait on this one. And for the video, I would say, how much does the VO model cost to have access to it?
If I'm not mistaken, you need to pay the 250 plan per month. But you can also access VO3 through API. So, and I've read that a VO3 video of 8 seconds is around $6.
Okay. So for those who are not developers, who have no access to API, and those who don't have money, so those who don't have $250 to do video generation, you can have video generation for $33 a month here. You can have a try That's what you have here. So it's not actually that stupid if you want to try VO3, but will you pay $33 every month for this? I don't know, man. Not me. And with that said, that was our last piece of news. We had a really good chat here. We went into a bit of grinding. I think we kind of shit on a few of our favorites. They're still our favorites. We still use these products every day, but we did a lot of shitting on and honest reviews, which is a sign that we're doing really well, Emrick. We're not a yes man. We're not like the LM Studio guys who's love it.
Yeah, we're trying to be realistic there because we are using the products daily. You talked about Manus, I use it a lot too. So yeah, we use it and we recognize that some have limitations, but we really love the spirit and the revolution that all these tools, they really improve our work.
Next week we have a great interview coming with a AI founder that I met at the AI fair. Emrick, the AI fair is happening again, I think, today. You should go check it out. It's in the Tenderloin, so don't take your MacBook. But go out and have fun in SF, and we'll see everybody next week. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.